Hope is to kind of establish a couple of several different video kind of movement that I can share with you. Again, it's not I'm not interested in selling this as a course. This is just something that I like to do. I like to just teach people. So and it's a Saturday. I don't really have a whole lot going on after this, so I just kind of found some time. So first thing, you can't see this, but I'm controlling the basically the exposure with my aperture, which is with the dial on the Ronin. So I'm looking at the histogram, and at f22 ISO 4000, it's not blowing anything out. So this is just a standard pan, like left to right pan, right to left pan. There's no such thing as you have to kind of mix in left to right, right to left, because they're all going to be the same. My natural movement is to go left to right. I'm just way more comfortable doing that. So you can see right here that they have a detached garage. So I'm gonna just do a quick pan, because whether you do left to right pan or right to left pan, the editor is going to be able to, turn it in whatever direction they want to. Another move right here that you can do is you can actually do just like a lower, right? I start by bending my knee, and then I eventually just lower the gimbal. So that's another move that you can do. Obviously, with everything that you do, you can do, again, you can do it the other way, right? So in front of this house, I'm just gonna walk left to right. Now, when I do something like that, I'm holding the gimbal handle and the briefcase, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch it to my left and right grip, because that actually provides more stability. This isn't as convenient, right? But it is definitely more stable, because the center, the center of the balance is not in the middle. It's more on the left and right side of the camera, so it will keep it more balanced. So here I'm just gonna do a pan left to right. It's pretty bright out right now, so I can't really see the screen, but I'm keeping my eye on the histogram. There we go. I'm gonna just do an entry. I'm just walking forward. I've got my arms tucked in, and I'm gonna do my best to do the ninja walk. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that right there, because I've gone now, I'm 2 stops underexposed. So this house is kind of tricky because the dynamic range inside and out is pretty bad. So I'm gonna try to do a shot that I'm walking in, and I'm gonna end up kind of like right here, and I want this to be as bright as possible without blowing anything out. I used to do auto exposure where it was gonna change as I'm moving, but we realized that that's actually more difficult for the editors to be able to work with. So I'm gonna come out just as much so that nothing is getting blown out. Alright, so here we go. So this is gonna probably be like a speed ramp coming in. So we're ninja walking coming in. And the main feature of the house definitely has to be this window. I'm here, and then I'm gonna just do a turn. Try to keep this in the center frame. Let's see if I can actually do a turn all the way around. And then, all right. Okay, so that's just the, your standard push in, push out. Now, if you want to just keep it simple, you can actually just stand still and then just push in. And that's what I'm doing. I didn't take any, and this is the smoothest way for you to get anything done, is for you just not to move, and which is okay. So anytime I do something like going through, I always like to show the reverse angle of it, because that gives the editor flexibility to be able to cut to a different angle and show how they're going to be coming in the door. Alright, so we are now here in the living room. Now I'm pushing in. Okay. So you want to kind of do a bunch of variety shots so that it gives the editors like flexibility. So over here, and by the way, my I like to, the auto my meter is inside always +1, just ever so slightly overexposing. So now I'm doing my left to right pan. Now as you're doing the pan, it's okay to kind of go a little bit lower. And also, I'm also shooting 6K open gate, so it gives my editors a lot of flexibility to be able to like reframe things. So for example, I really love those beams over there. Love the line. So I'm gonna just punch in just a little bit, and then I'm gonna do a body slide. So I've got my feet really wide, and I'm just gonna hit push, get myself balanced, and then I'm just moving left to right. This is a slider shot. And then now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to move around. So I'm going around like orbiting, but then lowering the camera. Okay. And like that fireplace, so I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and do a little bit of a detail, like a reveal, just a slide. Love these inserts. So we're gonna do another detail shot here. So this is where I change the mode on the gimbal to PTF instead of just pan follow. So it's now pan tilt follow. So I'm gonna start low, and then I'm just gonna look up. Perfect. I like the smoothness that the gimbal provides rather than me trying to use the joystick. And there are times when I will use the joystick to be able to control. But at least for me, using the PTF mode allows me to get more natural movement. After this, probably would be the kitchen. So let's go ahead and we'll walk to the kitchen. We're just walking, ninja walking. So now over here, I'm gonna just turn and then include the dining room. I try to do several different long takes so that our team might be able to do some speed ramping and do some fun stuff like that. And here we end up in the kitchen. So I'm gonna do a reverse shot of coming out of the living room, which is this, and this shot will also show you the hallway that leads to the bedrooms and whatnot. So one simple thing you can always remember is whenever you do a push in shot where you're walking in or whatever, always try to get the reverse angle, because that helps. That helps a ton in terms of having the flexibility of multiple different angles when you're editing. If you can remember to get a wide shot a mid shot, and a close up, basically a detail of each space. Like if you can get 2 of each, you basically got yourself covered, like 99% of the time. So just remember that. Just whatever you think is a good, cool feature in a particular space, get a wide shot, mid shot, and a close up. And as I'm doing this, I know how to edit the video, so I'm sort of planning it ahead in my head on how this is gonna get put together. I have trained our editors, and they are super talented, where we now can know what each other is doing.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
You know, if I shoot certain things certain way, I know how it's gonna get edited. So that's something that is very fortunate for me, because I'm lucky enough to be working with some talented editors that I got connected with and coached and trained. Creating moves with the camera is not it's a lot easier than you would think. You just have to kind of think logically. So it comes down to, so now I'm doing a left to right slide. Okay, I'm gonna redo that one because I don't like how the lamp on the top, the light fixture is so like distorted. So here we go. Let's do another one. This one is a little bit more tighter. I think it looks way better. Okay. Let me take a break real quick. So there's only certain ways that either the camera or you can move, right? So you physically can move, push forward or move back, move left or right, right? So when you take that 4, but then you add the third dimension where you can move up, right, or down, right? So you can move down. I guess you can't really move up, but you know what I mean. So you take those 6, and then you combine that with what you're doing with the camera. So meaning, I could be moving the camera as I am moving forward, right? That's kind of like how you create the orbit shot. Or I could be moving forward, but then I could be going lower with my camera. That adds another interesting kind of move, right? I could be moving back, bringing the camera forward, right? I mean, if we just do the math on how many different combinations can we create, it comes out to it comes out to a lot. So I guess my tip for you would be, you just got to kind of find the one couple that you like. Obviously, the more variety, the better. But you can, at first, you just start with pushing in and then pulling out, right? Push in, pull out, and then while you're doing that, maybe add side-to-side movement, right? And whatever movement you do, you can do the opposite. So you can naturally capture it, or the editors can use it so that they can reverse what you just did. So this is definitely the main kind of highlight of the house. Of course, out in the deck. This laundry bathroom area, like I'm gonna come back to it. You would think that the natural progression would be to go in here. But what we want to do is I'm trying to make it easier for my editors by kind of showing them what I want them to show like first. So, all right, so now we're out on the deck, and so this is where I'm gonna have to change my ISO to the lower. My camera has dual native ISO, so when I'm working outside, I'm gonna have to change this up. So beautiful view of the mountain. I'm just doing a mini slide. I think I'm gonna do one long take here of, I'm gonna go outside. And then I'm gonna orbit. And this is hopefully to demonstrate the size of this deck, because there's another sitting area here. And I'm going to turn and face the view again. Okay. And hopefully we'll be able to create something from that. Is there such thing as overdoing it? Absolutely. I can overshoot very easily, but you just gotta make it work and do your best. So this is the hallway. And I am going to do a straight shot just to kind of show the hallway here. So elbows tucked in, ninja walk. I'm tilted about 45 degrees. All right. So then after that, so this is a tough situation because you're walking into the room and the room itself is very dark, but we can't overexpose because we want the view. So I'm just gonna do a push in, no step. I come to one of the corners. Mini slide, bed with the view. And let's do a quick rise, show the view. Boom. And then from outside. Boom. And then from the other corner. When you have a staged house, it's a lot easier for you to get some close-up detail shots because, you know, at least on the bed, like they'll have cushions and pillows are made up and stuff like that. So like in my case, I've got some stuff here. So I'm just lowering the gimbal. And looks like got some beam structure thing going on. So I'm gonna, here we go. Show the sexy lines. Boom. All right, so this bathroom is not, let's just say this bathroom is definitely not like the main feature of the house. So when you have, I'm not gonna spend too much time in here because everything is outdated and there's really nothing, even though it's staged, nothing really pretty is showing. So this is probably something that we'll just kind of, you know, skip over. Like, hey, there's a, you know, this is your primary bathroom and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Primary closet, again, nothing special. So we're just gonna go in and then show the relationship of the space with the next. And that's it. So when I have a view house, I try to kind of mimic how, like if you've got a view and like you're on your bed, like I feel like that's a pretty good. So I try to do a lot of like, I'm gonna show you the view, but I'm also gonna show you the bed. Doesn't necessarily mean you can have the view from the bed, but it kind of creates that illusion. Boom. By the way, if you have a talented editor, the editor will bail you out. And that is such a blessing because sometimes, you know, sometimes you're not on your A game and you just hope that the editor can bail you out. So here's the bathroom. I'm just doing a no step push and that is all that we're gonna need. And I'm gonna do my get lower move and the reverse view. Oh, I'm not entirely sure if I want to highlight anything in this bathroom, but what I could do is I could kind of focus on the staging so that the editor has something to cut to. So if you edit your own videos, it does help because you can kind of visualize or kind of think through how it's going to get put together. And here's our okay, so that shot right there, I did use the joystick. So I'm moving left to right and I'm kind of doing an orbit, but I pointed the joystick down so that the camera is going to tilt as I was moving. So I think that would be the third thing that I would add to a movement. So more things you add to the movement, the better the shot is going to be, or, you know, quote unquote, more advanced, if you will. And then we're going to let them know that you have a side entrance. There we go. And we have a nice colorful flower. Alright, and last but not least, let's get a view of that mountain. There we go. We're gonna come all the way down. And alright, so I hope this is gonna be helpful for somebody. This was not a pre-planned thing. I just felt like doing it, so I just did it. And there's not gonna be a whole lot of editing. I'm just gonna kind of upload it, and so be it. So, all right.